Sorry, I gotta send out these notifications real quick and get back.
Fifty Shades of what the fuck?
I'm just gonna start like boom, boom, boom. Live, still live. I don't know if it's still live or not. Resume live video. Okay. So live video should be resumed. Resume. Sorry, I gotta go back a little bit. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Let this play. All right. So this is a little piece from one of my videos. So you can go to Noble Scorpions on YouTube and you can listen to that video. Man, what up, though? No one is watching. I don't know who you are, but please engage. I'm gonna play this for a minute and then we'll continue. Just a quick note on that. Nigerian, Aryan. We're gonna go into this Aryan part, supreme race, so on and so forth. Aryan part and how this connects directly to Kitwa, Mauritania, Lumaria, Sumaria, Amaru Kapana, Amarukan to Maroccans, Amexium, Shem, Sham, Shaman, Shanghai, um, Ang, Katura, Rebecca, Inuk, Enak, Enunakai, Anunnaki, Nagas, niggas, kings, khans, the melanated copper bone Afro indigenous natives to the earth. Hindustan, Kopan, Iopan, original Japanese, and Chine, Gate, Ketera, Kati, Korah, and how this relates to the Quran and the Bible and how it was plagiarized and usurped and perverted from original tablets, um, codices, and records, and how America is the original Misraim, or what we call Nubia, Kush, Egypt, and Afrea, Amexium, America, Yorico, Jericho, the original Lemuria, Sumeria, and Atzlan, and how Three Eye Atlas is actually Leviathan, Atzlan, um, and continual ebonics, esoterics, etymologies, and phonetics, and the phonetics, the phonetics of phonetics, the wisdom, the construction, um, and the etymologies, the spiritual realities, and duality of that, due to perception and right knowledge versus perverted and corrupted knowledge, and how the true original Persians, Prussians are red, copper bone, and melanated peoples, Kitawa, Cherokee, Iroquois, Anigitawagi, Moor, um, so on and so forth, Maya, and Aztec, Asur, Ashur, also how it connects to Atur, which also represents the dragon, Draco, and or the serpent, and the S and the J when it comes to being tricked in the illusions and the deceptions and deceiving of Esau and Ishmael. Because the word Islam is the word Ishmael, just like Jesu, Isu is the Jesuit order that began with Esau, and many more connections. But going to the YouTube channel, go watch this video. Again, this video name is Royal, part of the Tartaria series, and we're going a little bit deeper on covidio. So the name of this video will be covidio2, to show y'all who the original Rus, Roths, Rothschild were and how it began, and as well as the original Jesuit order or Society of Esau, um, and the original Romani, Persian Empire, and all the people connected to Zubola and Hel or Helion, and how this connects to Helios and so on and so forth. Um, because when they say you're in hell already, they're not wrong because the West was known as the underworld, Cibola, in America, Turtle Island, Amexium, all right, Asia Major, Asia Superior, okay, including Europe and Canada, all right, and these are all part of America, Tamaricans, Tamariland. U.S. Inc. was created by the Moors, um, dealing, I think it's somewhere sometime in 1776, connections dealing with U.S. Morocco relations. Okay, so their connection to the seven nations that came and scrambled for our land, the Urban Land and Development Act, the Urban Land Renewal Act. Dan Calloway speaks about a lot of these things to help connect pieces in that way, and how they excavated the forest deforestation acts and stuff like that. And how this connects to Enoch, the book of Enoch, and Yashar, Jasher, the apocryphal text, um, but with discernment and also, the guidance of Hunabku Yahuwah, who is Kukumkukan Yahuwah, the feather covered king. You know what I'm saying? The one true source, the all father, the all above all, the one true living breath and all spark, if you will, the essence of all, who is also Amma and or mother. So we're gonna go into these things a little bit greater, a little bit deeper, to give a little bit more sound clarity, where we're able to, just as a guide, not as a teacher, and critical analysis and some studies, and some other references that you can go and study and check out and stuff like that. Kai! You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And speaking about energy specifically, um, and um, how to utilize what we know and giving some solutions on what we can do with what we know. Um, Go to Noble Scorpions. We should have a live going up right now on YouTube as well as here as Facebook. Um, uh, yeah. Um, yeah. All right. So as pyramids, living pyramids, the rocks that cry out, right? Um, Assyrian, all right? Assyria, okay? Um, tapping into the Sumerian tablets, codices, so on and so forth, which is continuing the Arabian and or Persian Empire, which are all the same names of things that Ebonic phonetic phonesis etymologically and esoterically are the same bloodlines. Um, and the original inhabitants of those regions before the mix and shifting of cartographies, um, the bywords, like they say in the Bible, you know, saying we name all these bywords that you can go to Deuteronomy 28 and read. Deuteronomy tells you that. Leviticus 13 through 16 tells you the covenants of death that was made by those who chose to betray the covenant and oath with the Most High God in creation, right? They chose to step out of order, long story short, and be destructive. They made covenants with death. That's why the system produces nothing but death and death, because that is an effect of that covenant, you know what I'm saying, or that contract with death. So the the wicked archons, Nephilim, um, the wicked ones, Anunnaki, so on and so forth. People have to realize where there's truth, there is layers. Okay, so if there's a wicked way to do something, there's a right way to do something, even if it's endless. Okay, and there's a frequency to both sides of that duality, like a coin. I call it my coin theory. You got the heads and tails, but the major point of that coin that's always overlooked is the circumference of it. Because if one whole coin, it's just three different perceptions, three different ways of looking at one thing. And however that might come into play through, taught how to look at things a certain way or not consideration, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? In a school of learning, I think it's a good idea to just consider some things that are questionably considerable, if that makes sense. In other words, when shit don't make sense, we gotta try to make that shit make sense.
Media gallery popping in. There's also another part, another side to that coin theory. Aha, two sides to a coin? No, there's three. One side, the other side, and the edge. It's like what? It's like three sides to every story. What you say happened, what I say happened, what actually happened. The truth always hits somewhere in the middle.
Perfect. Perfect timing. And that's where detective work comes in. If I can imagine being a detective, I couldn't base my case off of just a hypothesis, right? Considering and examining the evidences in a way that is beneficial to solve the puzzle, right? Or the clues to solve the case. And since so much for so long, people have been entombed in this what you call it, Truman Show. You know what I'm saying? The Total Recall. You know what I'm saying? And many other 80s and 90s shows that were sort of showing us and speaking to us on all kinds of shit that is like, it was a certain time and place where certain things started to click. So the Aryan race is also the Arabian race. Because when you write the word Arabian, let's say you take out the B, you say Arian, Orion, people of the Orion star constellation in the Pleiades at the same time. You see what I'm saying? This is also Assyria. You know what I'm saying? Asher, okay? Ashra, Ashra, and so on and so forth. So when you look at the Mizraim mythology of what we call Kus are gods, right? Which represented the elders, and to the elders who were um, trained and developed in right knowledge and wisdom of the Most High. He is Kukunkukanyahu, hiding or not hiding, covered under the shadow of his wings, protected under the shadow of his wings, right? And you look at all these pictures of angels of all time, and you look at the peoples of the Caribbean, I'm saying, of the Americas, so on and so forth, which is still the Americas, the Caribbean, I'm saying, which is still the Arabians, all the way around, you know what I'm saying, Haiti, so on and so forth. Those are the feathered people. You follow the feathers, you see the clans. You see what I'm saying? And you got to go beyond what you think you know to learn what you should have been known for a long time. Because however long the suppression started with our people, and then it migrated and it was, utilized to the other 7 other nations. You know what I'm saying? That whole scramble for Africa theory that began here first. You don't immediately start with a 90-degree angle. You have to start with a hill, then you start with steps. Then you work your way up to the 90-degree angle. But the path is construction. And it was led to deceive and beguile Hua. You know what I'm saying? And Ahadamar. Um, as light bearers, Arawa, children of the empire, son of Arawara, uh, children of the light. You know what I'm saying? To illuminate people is not to deceive people. You can't heal the people slightly and feel like, oh, well, that's is that the third. But also with healing, one must be able to receive that healing. You know what I'm saying? In order to heal and to receive that healing, there must be a work that must be done. So when we look at construction, we look at forms of excavation that must be done, right? Before they build a house, they got to clear the pathway of that land. Then they got to dig the hole. They got to dig the foundation. You know what I'm saying? And in order to do that, there's a lot of shit they got to do: dirt, rocks, roots, so on, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it is work that is in motion, energy that is exerted, enforced. You know what I'm saying? It's a force of energy that is exerted. It's being moved. It's being shifted. It's being changed. It's eco. I don't know why I said or eco shifting, right? Terraformation. This is what we another word of climate change. To climate change your mind, your thinking, your way of thinking, you must be renewed in your mind, as they say, right? Renew your thinking, and you can't renew your thinking unless you're brought a new idea, a different way of perceiving, in order to receive. Because part of perceive is receive. You see what I'm saying? Um, so um, the building blocks to healing, there has to be a foundation and a strategy of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a way of calculus. This is why, as Maya, as calculators, as master builder designers, as people who will give it a calculated purpose, right? Written in the stars. We're it's not about, it's specifically not about us. But where we were created and put in purpose, just like anything in creation, everything has a purpose, everything has a place, everything has a position. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Everything, good, bad, and indifferent. And a lot of times, I don't fucking like that shit because I don't like wicked shit, and I don't want to be wicked, and I don't like fucking dealing with wicked shit. But at the same time, I still have to come. I'm always brought to that same reality where it's like a lot of fucked up shit has turned into some really good stuff and experiences and journey for me in my life. Right. Say that again.
More shit makes good fertilizer.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? And it's not wrong in that at all. Like it's a perfect reality.
I'll take horse shit over bullshit any day.
Yeah. I mean, I would well.
I'll take horse shit over bullshit. Bullshit is better fertilizer. Bullshit's just bullshit.
So I'm gonna tell a story. I used to when the first time I ever went to a stock show and a rodeo and stuff like that. Like I didn't know it at the time until people told us, and they watched us for a lengthy amount of time. We're throwing cow pies and shit at each other in the dirt. because it looked like hay, you know what I'm saying? That was like, mixed with dirt. And it was like, oh, that's cow shit. And then we was like, ugh! But it was too late by then because it was like we was already playing with it for like well over a long time. And then people was like, you gonna watch us throw shit at each other?
We got a family history, and every time we've ever gone to a stock show or a state fair, one of us in the family, without fail, will step into a massive pile of cow shit or horse shit. Without fail, at least one of us out of four.
That's funny.
Every single one of them. 1 year it was my daughter.
What? No matter what, somebody gonna step in some shit today. So
Somebody gonna step in some shit.
Try to avoid it, and it still happens.
Yep. You see it right there. You try to avoid it. You turn your head for a split second to talk to the person next to you, and you pray you're not wearing flip flops.
Yeah. When you said that, I remember times of stepping in dog shit and other shit, and I remember the texture. Like that texture memory just came back between my toes. It's always the squish and then the overwhelming power of stank.
Because it doesn't release that fragrance
Until that's
you must crush the flower to release the fragrance.
man. All right. Okay. Now, in the resurrection, right? Because the change of mind is the rapture. Okay. It's the taking away, the taking out of, and being transliterated, if you will, or translated, or replanted, rerouted in the truth and in reality. Because once you deal with struggle and trauma, therapeutics behind that, getting in nature, so on and so forth, multiple different ways, then you're able to remember certain things in your childhood. I'm saying it's like levels to it. When we're ready to receive, we're ready to acknowledge, acknowledge. So it's prep, acknowledge, receive, and prep, or however that goes. But nevertheless, it's a process. Is the point. So ta or tau, right, which represents tav, or tet, which represents in Ivri, or what we say Hebrew, or as they say Hebrew, you also say Druid, right? Because what they call Hebrew is Druid. That's why the names are really crucial, because Ivri is a totally different sound. They say Eberu, Hebrew. Well, go look at those peoples, right? Then study those names and those things and phonics in other languages, other tribes, cultures around the world, and you start getting a deeper clarity, right? When you study Latin, okay, then you study German with it. You know what I'm saying? Wherever there's Latin, there's German. Wherever there's German, there's some kind of Spanish or English. You know what I'm saying? But you keep going. Basically, you study it in Aramaic. You study it in Arabic. Aramaic and Arabic is indigenous to the Americas because it's Arabian. This is Arabia. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with the cartography fuck ups that was done to literally confuse people. Again, Psalm 83. Keep Psalm 83 in mind when we're speaking about these things. Jeremiah 29 and 11, as well as Leviticus 13 through 17, and the book of Revelation, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Especially 12 through 21, as well as the book of Daniel, right? Again, tapping into last night's video, when the high priests, right? The high priests were the intercessors for the people and for the nation. All right. There were certain instructions they were given. Go look at Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, and Isaiah. And when they were called by the Most High, what does they do? It didn't show any of them motherfuckers getting killed or sacrificing another human being. None of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that. He gave them specific instructions, right? And they were interceding for the people, for the sins of the people. The high priests were the ones, it's like the sins of the people were put on the priests. You see what I'm saying? The priests are the shamans. The priests are the advisors of the kings. You know what I'm saying? But the priests are kings as well. That's why they call it a royal priesthood. This is how the government operates. You see what I'm saying? So to operate in a system that is in direct hostile opposition to life is considered a forfeit of your priestly position. You see what I'm saying? The Illuminati forfeited their priestly position when they made covenants with death to shed blood that was not to be shed. You see what I'm saying? Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt people like thou shalt not kill. It's just like don't be fucking stupid. You're just trying to make an excuse to do shit that you know is wrong anyway. You're just trying to justify your own arrogance, ignorance, or lack of knowledge, however you choose to take it. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to kill, period. Blood begets blood, right? And if life is in the blood, then you're eating somebody else's life source. You're devouring something that's not your portion. Therefore, it automatically puts you in a position to receive a consequence, whether right or wicked. You see what I'm saying? And then you look at the consequences of that is the effects, right, of your works for doing what. So, you know what I'm saying? This is why in health and stuff like that, they have all these parasites, so on and so forth, and go on and on and on. And it's it's just the way the Most High wants it. So be it. And without compromise and without betrayal, you know what I'm saying? Like the law is the law. You know what I'm saying? You have to follow people that be like, oh well, you know, you can't. They say you can't steal. I agree. But what happens if every store that's on your land is actually your store and your stuff? Is it stealing? If you just go into somebody's house and just take something, it's a different situation. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it can be it's a fucked up way of looking at stuff, but when you really put certain stuff into perspective, it's like okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't just go into someone's house and fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Because 99% of the time, 100% of the time, if I want something, I need something, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna go that route. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hurt people to get what you need. You don't have to compromise your dignity and your integrity to receive a life that is suitable for you. You know what I'm saying? And get what you desire in life. Although it's also not about being led by your own desires. You know what I'm saying? Or your insatiable appetite of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? You don't get pleasure in life. But when shalom becomes your sense of wealth, when healing becomes a sense of wealth, when your security becomes sound and like, okay, I appreciate my family. I'd rather be with my family than trying to, make myself a name to be defined by this and stuff. Like I want to use my gifts and abilities, you know what I'm saying, to help my family. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not about to fucking compromise my integrity, my dignity, my essence, you know what I'm saying, in my family to be known by people, you know what I'm saying, fit into some organization that's like, you guys are fucked hard stupid. You know what I'm saying? These niggas, y'all people they're led by rapists and murderers, liars and thieves, you know what I'm saying, who only want to steal, kill, and destroy. Their hearts are literally desperately wicked, always imagining vain things. They flip that to the point where it's like when they say it's Esau, you know what I'm saying, hearts are desperately wicked. No, because if you think that you're born a sinner, there's something wrong with you. Your children is taught a certain way, right? They're dead in their thinking, they're dead while they live. It's because they're taught death growing up. A lot of it started in the womb. You see what I'm saying? So, and before that, so the reality of it is, you know what I'm saying, if you train up a child in the way that they should go, if you don't know, you don't know. You can't be held accountable for that. If you know some things but you're not taught right or you don't have the right teachers, you can't be held accountable for that to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? But you still must seek to know what's right. If you do know what's right and you don't do it, then you're held accountable because you know what's right. You just don't do it. You don't want to do it. All you have to do is hold yourself accountable and first acknowledge that you don't want to fucking do that shit. Because then you can possibly be helped. You know what I'm saying? Because there might come a time where you actually might want to do right. You know what I'm saying? Or do different. But there's people and creatures out there that actually don't fucking want to do right. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? And acknowledging that in the world of all kinds of creatures, there are monsters. You know what I'm saying? And those ones that they call USA Inc. There's no sympathizing. There's no reasoning with it, especially when they don't look at you as a living being or a living creature. You're just seen as a puppet, a tool, and a battery and a generator to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? Uh, device pulse keep stopping. Whatever. Um, and you don't have to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a tree hugger. Don't give a fuck what people say. Not broken. I'm a tree hugger because I like trees. If you didn't catch that, I don't know what to say. I like trees. Trees are lovely.
Tree was good too. Lost us in the background. Just lost a good buddy of ours. In the Red world. Like, I don't know any of the details, but Tree was an amazing musician. Strings and flutes. He could play flutes like crazy. He could ditch just beautifully. Uh, had his flute, had his mandolin, had his guitars. Amazing musician, good percussionist, and he's behind a couple of kids in his life. He wasn't much older. We love Tree.
Shout out to the family of tree and family trees.
May your family tree branch and not this day.
That part. And that's another thing where it's like that integrity of like appreciate the families. And those of you who have families, you know what I'm saying? Those that have people who really adore you, care for you, you know what I'm saying? They check up on you, even if they're not immediate blood, you know what I'm saying? Blood isn't always right, you know? But y'all can give you people in family that don't look anything like you. You know what I'm saying? They not have the same background. But it's up for you to receive it and flow with it, you know what I'm saying? As given. Because truth be told, pretty much everybody gets what they pray for, or that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a different time, you know what I'm saying? And those people who have people that can love on them or appreciate them, check up on them, you're able to reciprocate. You know what you may lack in one area, or seemingly you can reciprocate in another area. You know what I'm saying? Example: if you don't have fiat currency, you know what I'm saying, you can reciprocate in resources. You know what I'm saying? Fiat currency is just a resource. So the only relationship we should have with that. You know what I'm saying? Our identity should not be wrapped up in that, and that's, like, that defines who you are, and if you're worth something or worthy to be around people, or your identity, you know what I'm saying, or um, that's what I ain't make it if I ain't got this. Like, you might be alive, and then there's how many people are fucking vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Newsflash, you don't even find that word in the Bible. And just a side note. You know what I'm saying? Some people ain't got good health. Some people ain't got a house, a roof over their head. You know what I'm saying? Some people are sleeping in the tent right now outside in the freezing cold. Every day I get on, well, not every day, but most times when I get on the light rail, I always see some people in the tent. Rain, snow, shine, sleet. You know what I'm saying? Every season, you know. And being in a system where bickering and fighting about Donald Trump and this, that, and the third. Fuck them niggas, bro. Them niggas don't give a shit about y'all. What you voting for? Your own destruction? You want to die that bad? You know what I'm saying? You want to go to motherfuckers that want to give you a false hope. They are murderers and rape their own people, their own children. You know what I'm saying? They get on this so-called national TV and they show their colors. Look at how the children respond to them. Look at how Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying? And the little girl was trying to get the fuck away from that man. That nigga trying to sniff her hair on live TV. Like, nigga, what is wrong with you? Donald Trump's daughter and wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have been so brainwashed and so spoiled headed that they look at Hollywood as the go all tell all. These niggas give you reality shows about relationships, and niggas don't know how to keep no fucking relationship, bro. They all slaves to each other. They gang bang on each kill each other for fame and shit like that, and messing around with each other's women and men and children and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't support ABC community, because it's like if people realize where that shit came from and why it was considered as a sickness, and in the 80s and 90s they put motherfuckers like that in a psych ward. They deemed them unfit for society because it was a sickness. And when you deal with people who being raped, you're teaching people that to adopt sodomy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has masculine and feminine energy. But if you don't have a balance in that, you know what I'm saying? Again, you have to keep in consideration everything that looks like mankind is not mankind. These agendas that are out there for a specific purpose. Can you be conducive to producing life if you're not able to help give that life? You see what I'm saying? You need a man, you need a woman to have a baby. Simple as that. You can have all these sperm banks and all this other stuff, this and the third, but didn't the Most High specifically say not to waste your seed? Why are you giving your seed to a whole nother being? You don't know what the fuck they doing, where these fucking companies came from, why the fuck they doing it, and then you wonder where gene splicing comes from. You wonder where cloning comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like people give away their organs, they give away their blood, they give away their plasma that your body needs for rejuvenation, for healing. Every function of the body, every system of the body has a specific purpose, including the endocannabinoid system. You see what I'm saying? That resets the entire system of systems in your body that is conducive. Like our body is conducive, it is created for immortality. It's created for regenerative youth. It's created to regenerate itself. And we're given the supplies and the tools and the resources to do that with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's not good enough to just have knowledge and not utilize it in a proper order. You know what I'm saying? Every fruit looks like a part of the body. Any ailment, you go to the earth. You go to what's being produced. That's the Amma. That's the feminine. That's the Amakai. That's the Amma. You know what I'm saying? That's the matriarch. You know what I'm saying? For this womb that we're in called Earth. The bubble, the enclosure, you know what I'm saying, represents the belly of a woman. You know what I'm saying? We are the seed within the womb. Wonder why they call it the matrix? Right. And also the symbology that they use in the Bible talking about the matrix of the women and the agendas behind that. You know what I'm saying? Going and just killing just to kill. You know, every one of us at some point in time was put up in some kind of fucked up situation that led to some type of abortion, or something. I know I was been in there. You know what I'm saying? I specifically at one time prayed that certain things wouldn't happen that way. I wouldn't have a child growing up hateful because of my energy towards somebody. You know what I'm saying? And also that I wouldn't grow up struggling and suffering because of this one person dealing with that child, because I was going through it with my other child. You know what I'm saying? And I asked the Most High, y'all let your will be done. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather not bring the child into this world like that. You know what I'm saying? And over time, I stopped messing with that woman. Period. You know what I'm saying? And part of it was because of my own arrogance, my own disobedience. I wanted to do stuff that I wanted to do, but I didn't trust the Most High at that time either. No justification. It was the truth. You know what I'm saying? And once I was like, okay, God, you choose, and He still chose what He promised me for me. I had to go and do the following requirements. I had to shift my thinking that climate change, my perception, and be like, okay, yeah, I choose to trust you. Because looking back, you know what I'm saying, one of my children was going through it because of my own choices. You know what I'm saying? On my own accord, though, on my part, I can't take accountability for the most part. But on my part, some of my thinking, some of my children have suffered because of me and because of my own choices. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't bash people. I don't just like condemn people and shit like that, because it's like I have to take consideration where I was at in different points of time. Certain things I knew I didn't know. I'm saying some things I didn't know that I didn't know. You know, so considering many things in different ways, but all you can do is take accountability for your own actions. That's what it means to ask for grace and for mercy. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledging your errors. You know what I'm saying? When a man acknowledges his sins before the Most High Yah, you know what I'm saying? The Most High, He's not liable, but when does He not actually give mercy to people? You know what I'm saying? If He knows you're not going to change, it's a whole different situation. You know, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, you're gonna be like, okay, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? You might hear sometimes a question like, "What's wrong with you?" and be like, "Ain't nothing wrong with you." It might actually be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it might just be up for you to get the fuck on somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Long enough to trust the Most High. And sometimes we gotta learn how to trust ourselves too, without being arrogant. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by I don't want to be proud. I don't want to be arrogant, thinking like I know everything. 'Cause I don't know everything. I know a fucking lot. But I know enough to know I don't fucking know damn near nothing. You know, I just won't dismiss what I've been taught by the Most High for anybody because we experienced it. You know what I'm saying? As well as study. You know what I'm saying? And done work behind it and witness stuff. So that's what gives credibility and approval behind that. You know, so it's there is right ways to channel the currency. You know what I'm saying? This energy is a form of currency. You know what I'm saying? The mindset behind it is the mindset of human. It's the mindset of the flesh. That's the mirror effect. That's the mirror code, literally. And we're talking about the mirror code since I've been doing music in 2018, 2019. You know what I'm saying? It's literally a song. These messages aren't just like music to tingle and tell people what they want to hear and what they feel. Because when I go through shit, I don't always get what I want when I want it, and I feel some type of way about that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times. However, I always end up getting what I want and what I need, what I desire, because what I desire is the most high Yahoo above everything. You know what I'm saying? That's my dream. Ain't no greater dream than the one who created you. Like you can't defeat that if you try. You know what I'm saying? And as a living witness, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers told me we're gonna take your soul and they tried to. And it still didn't happen. And I had to come back to a point where I was so angry at the Most High, I was like, but I'm still here. So you gotta overcome that shit. Heard, sleep. Right. Cool. I thought that's what you was doing last night.
Just set up over here for this, right on that couch. Surrounded by the two little end tables. So I have a nice little, and then like hangs around there, it ties the whole silver together. Get that rug out. That's it. That's an indoor and outdoor. So I don't want to go outdoors in places where it's outdoor. Um, and then possibly we can move from the studio coming to go here. But like I said, I'm kind of good with the stages and steps. But time Tosh gets back, so I'm going to be reorganized and there's going to be some art up on walls. Some stuff actually. I'm looking forward to putting that one like I can see up here. Yeah. I have it up there. Honestly, that's like that. Situated. It's either there or it's over on that wall, but that little kind of tree that was well tree. I'm gonna go pick up the coolest.
Um, so yeah, um, I will not destroy my home. I will not destroy my love. It's one thing that Kai was saying. Stuff like that. That in my heart, continue to remind him. Because it was just an interesting night. He can tell you himself. But yeah, it's literally like a still life. You know, what you see on Facebook, it's not exactly what you see on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's too fucking epic. Two different points of view and ways of perception to view and perceive what is going on. You know what I'm saying? Which is which is interesting. So it's a pivotal, literally a pivotal view. Um, so yeah, um, they were trying to turn everybody into just like H.P. Lovecraft's, monsters type shit. You know what I'm saying? Of perception and blah blah blah. It's not relevant to or conducive to our growth and our healing. You know what I'm saying? Putting in place stuff like the Tignon laws. If you study the Tignon laws, um, uh, I don't really want to like pull up the Tignon laws right now to read specifically because I don't feel like looking at the freaking screen to do it. But Baruch Yehoah, the changing and shifting of the aporia, right? Reversing the aporia that would to cause people to doubt each other, you know what I'm saying, and fight against each other, and you know what I'm saying. The Black Boule is Pan Africanism to stand back into where it was at, you know what I'm saying, and the psychotherapy or the socio psycho bionic revolution, you know what I'm saying, or apocalypse, is to realize what stream of water are we drinking from. Was it sweet water? Yahuwah? Was it bitter water? Anything that was hostile opposed to him? What? You know what I'm saying? Um, Another way to see the duality of things like serpent wisdom belongs to our people, you know what I'm saying? But it can't be wisdom without the Most High God. You see what I'm saying? So if it was to look like Dragon Ball Z, right? The Kundalini that rising, going up the Jacob's ladder, running up Jacob's ladder, you know what I'm saying? Goku and stuff like that, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, Piccolo was supposed to be the Earth Guardian, you know what I'm saying? The Namekian. Nama, Nameki An. You know what I'm saying? Namekian. Namakian. The Nama tribe. Nama. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know what I'm saying? Including the Dinka, which is also, the Ava, the Avatar, Tar, Tara, the Tartarian, Tartarus. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know why our God comes to mind, the place of the soul. You know what I'm saying? This is symbology and esoteric for um, biology, anatomy, autonomy, cosmology, right? Um, um, Bionuclear chemistry, bionuclear physics, you know what I'm saying? Psychics, soul, you know what I'm saying? Psychiatrics, energy matrix. Okay. Just move back to the office. Just move back to the office. Um, I want to take a speech break and play an actual song, um, which is "In Living Water." Um, and I'm going to do it where you can hear it on here, Facebook, and then you will pay when I go, it'll be on YouTube as well, but a little bit after this specific conversation, um, specifically on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. But first, this is the real Kemet's tree of the world. It connects to the world tree. True hermeneutics. Kemet here in America. Part of that remind me like the Taurus field, but it's like the Aleph or the Taurus, the Taurus field, the Torah, following the Torah, the law, the Torah, the five cycling of the Taurus field, right? Energy, you know what I'm saying? Um, and the reciprocal, recyclical point of view, like the Ouroboros, um, Ouroboros. Anyway, um, uh, Tara, Tar, Tartaria, Tar, Taru, 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 Tarua, Tarua, Tarawa. Arwa, resurrection of the sun. Urua Ahua, Kukunkukanyahu, Taharua, Taharua, Taharua. Mm-mm. All right, Taharua, yeah. Okay. Tarahu, 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 Tara, Tarahu, 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 Anyway, so the Taurus, right? So it'd be like, they're a Taurus. They're not speaking about like, oh, that's just my sign. I'm saying I'm a Taurus. No, they're talking about the Taurus field. That is a whole different language that is being um, invoked in the same way, like Tara, or I'm a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm a Gemini, the two perceptions, hypothalamus theory, if you will, the left side and the right side of the brain, you know, so on and so forth, would be like um, the Yemeni Tara, Tara Yemeni, right? The truth bringer of the Taurus field, five cycle political system, right? Or thinking. So the cycling and the giving and getting and going of energy, right? The truth of energy is current. So the way the current is flowing, like in the waters, and you got the bank, and you got the water. So push, right? Push and pull, push. There's two. Yemeni, Yemeni, Yemen, truth bringers of the truth, the truth, light, the truth of the light. So that's so. Tara Yemeni, Tara Yemeni Hua. Um, so in your Hua, of the meanings in the perception of what is truth through perception, through perception and reception, giving and getting, pushing and pulling, because the energy, the inertia, right? Um, the force behind it or in it, right? Like the tide in the bank, the water, push and pull, push and pull, and then to the bank, push and it pulls back out. You watch the dirt, you know what I'm saying, earth and stuff, the minerals and stuff, and the crabs and stuff get washed up and they go back out. When the baby turtles want to come in, the tide wait for the tide to come in, shoot, and they go in and pull them back out. You know, so it's giving life and receiving life, not so much as taking life. When you play, say when you swim against, don't swim against the current, you flow with it. Because if you swim against it, you exhaust yourself and you're liable to be taken, like it'll be overwhelmed by it. So a lot of people fucking drown. For one, they don't know how to swim. But you can organically learn through no lie, you can learn how to swim by just flowing with the tide and calming your body down in the central nervous system, which will help calm the rest of your body down. It's energy regulation or energy saving. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you don't have to operate through fear of the unknown. Step into the great unknown. Yeah. Step into the great unknown.
right, all right, all right. I love you. Berber, Aryan, Tartarian, Berber, Morocco, Morocco, Maru, Morocco, the land of Mary, Mother Mary, the Mount Peru, and the postcard. That is my time right there. All right. So we're going to go for 20. All right. Polestar, right? Magnets, right? The pulling magnetic, like a magnetic energy pool. Mount Meru, the birthplace of men, the navel of the earth. This is why we are the first. They made us last. You know what I'm saying? And then we're being going back to like yo, we're still first. Like, no matter which way you put it, we're still first. There's no one doing it. There's no stopping it because that's how the Most High created us. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? The other strangers, we're not learning those strange ways, those strange fires, because it's not the ways of the Most High. Simple as that. So if you want to continue this, go to YouTube, join in, and go from there. None of that shit, man. Oh, that's cool. It's cool.
Is being revealed daily. Let it be known worldwide.
Sorry, I'm catching up on the links. do it. Fuck, man. Shit. Shit. All right. Yay! Whoa. All right. One more two. My guy. Come on, man. Hurry this shit up. Waiting and shit. You know. Blah, 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 blah. Bruh. 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 Come on, bruh. All right. That's not it. Should be alive. Ooh. Did it not do it?
You get your own little spot to run around and naturally it'll have shops and school and like proper school, like not their kind of schooling, but like where it's a way of life kind of thing. And
I did not fucking know what the fuck just actually took place. But okay. Apparently, it fucking rejected my other video. You know, that's some goddamn bullshit, man. You know. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what to do on that one past a certain point. Well, fuck. Whatever. I got it. So talking to myself through some stuff. Should be on there. All right, so we're gonna do the second part of the video now. Got about 11 minutes, I think it is, left of me running my mouth. Um, Word? Well, it's out there, so. I couldn't move the file
hell to where these guys are stupid. This shit is fucking dumb. That shit is fucking dumb, man. This shit's fucking dumb. You know what I mean? It's fucking dumb. Alright. That's all the way September. September. Dang, bro. 1 hour ago. Don't know how that's 7 days ago. Dish. Bro, how you not letting me? You talking about I got all this stuff and I'm trying to do what I gotta do to do this shit. It's not even letting me do it, god damn it. You go keep that video on your phone. Do not. You ain't got a choice. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? You know? Alright, so apparently the thing was like, fuck what I got to do. But whatever. This AI shit, bro. That's disturbing. Why would you think playing with the tail of a walking camel was gonna be fun? That's gross. She go with it. Swoop. Jiggy whoop. She sweet with that dope. Come. I like that. Flag football. Flag football, dope. Alright, I'm about to turn the phone off. I would have done the same shit. Swoop. Gotcha, motherfucking ass. Lay down. Chill the fuck out. You heard what he said?
Many centers of black commerce, not one Wall Street, but many. Indigenous people live, build, and govern here. Great world fairs were remnants of their cities. Across this nation once stood many centers of black commerce, not one Wall Street, but many. These communities were connected by trade, by innovation, by grand world fairs. They represented an older world still alive, and that continuity frightened those who sought control. So those centers were dismantled, their prosperity erased by the very forces that later claimed to civilize this nation. The word American describes the people of the copper-colored race. Its original heirs, the original nobility of this country are the so-called Black Americans. They are heirs to histories older than myth.
You heard that shit? You heard that goddamn motherfucking shit? Did you hear that goddamn motherfucking shit? All right, so data. Cool. I'm about to get off this. This is not helping me. I wish people would stop doing stuff like that. Like, I don't even know what it's for and why. I need to clear this stuff out. That's I can't even hear it.
Alex Jones just exposed.
Hey, collective, I'm hearing when I.
You know what? That's why they don't want you to speak Creole. You figured out the whole shit. It's simple. They told you that Chicago, right? Oh, it was the civilization was the founder. He was no founder. He don't find nothing.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Tonight we got another live topic going on. If you want to join in, tap into the Outwave Radio production. Here I'm playing.
All right, so still going live. I got distracted pretty heavy. So we're gonna continue what we were working on. There's some more parts of it. I gotta check and make sure this video is already like available. It says 1 hour ago, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to. We shall see. I don't know. Criteria, and we're gonna put it in tribe up. We'll do it. I'm gonna put it in Yahoo. And I'm gonna put it. I don't know why it's not doing it. But whatever. I'm not sure. Not right.
So when you get next, the next step, or ask, it's either that or we can hear a giant explosion called the Big Bang and random rocks form perfect flat surfaces naturally from the erosion. Which one's more of a stretch to you? Devil's Tower. Come on, man. Evidence right in your face. Samuel Jackson just exposed everything Hollywood been gatekeeping. It just,
See. Okay, so Tignon to Tignon 2 from the other night. It's up. The reason why they have what they call covidio2 in reverse. It's the 5. I get what you're saying. This is one reason why we'll get there. We got a couple more that. All right, so.
we were talking about the other day, like, but
all the other incidences in my life and about like the rage that I felt and the fight that I felt, and I missed having that.
All right, so
Okay, good morning. I really appreciate that the majority of my course following, they really liked the video that I presented about the dove. So I'm here.
okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna turn it off. All right, so I'm gonna end this one and start up a new one because it's I don't want to like lose what's going on already in this one.